76 years now, Vespas have been refreshingly colorful blobs in grey cities. They add color not only to commuter traffic, but also to the everyday lives of their owners. This is true for all Vespa models, as well as for the ones in the GTS series. We have tested the 2023 models, because they embody not only style, but also driving dynamics. Piaggio has revised the 125 and 300 Vespa GTS for the 2023 season only slightly visually, but extensively technically. Underneath the stylish steel bodies, which are available in 14 different colors, a lot has changed. Innovations in the chassis, brakes and electronic equipment are intended to raise the GTS models to a new level. We were able to find out what the updates do in a Vespa paradise and try out all 4 equipment variants of the new GTS and around Rome. GTS, GTS Super, GTS Super Sport and GTS Super Tech. That's what Piaggio calls these 4 different variants. Each of them is available as either a 125 or a 300cc version. It is difficult to tell whether the smaller or larger engine is under the sheet steel bodywork. The difference between the various versions is easier to spot, for example, in the different seats, wheel rim colors and decorative details, matte or glossy. The design itself has only been carefully polished. The characteristic tie is now slightly wider and some areas of the fairing have been made a little more angular. Other small changes concern the mudguard, emblem and number plate position as well as the mirror and rear light. But as I said, looks play a subordinate role in the update, so let's not dwell too long on that. Even though the 2 engines have not been changed mechanically, Piaggio removed the electronic limitation. GTS 125 was limited to 98 km per hour, GTS 300 to 120 km per hour, and now allows the single cylinders to rev freely. The promised gain of 5 km per hour for the 300 will probably influence only a few customers in their decision to buy. Nevertheless, on the country roads outside Rome, the Vespa GTS 300 accelerates smoothly and confidently to over 100 km per hour, and at a triple-digit cruising speed. There are almost no vibrations. Naturally, the 125 GTS is a bit slower. But listen up, it too can reach over 100 km per hour and it's very erratic, works just as unobtrusively, smoothly and therefore well. The fact that both versions are also very stable at top speed is nothing new, with the completely new front suspension. However, the ride is supposed to be even calmer. An additional strut now forms a parallelogram instead of a triangle, which should make the compression more sensitive and constant and also reduce vibrations in the handlebars. On the test ride over country roads and also inner city cobblestones, the Vespa GTS 300 and GTS 125 not only remain stable in terms of speed and braking, but also very comfortable. Of course, the 12-inch wheels play a not inconsiderable part in the playful handling at all times. Regardless of the speed, a minimal steering impulse is enough to initiate a turn. Nevertheless, the Vespa GTS models are not nervous and give a safe feeling when leaning. Speaking of safety, the brakes on the GTS 300 and GTS 125 are also new. All variants have Nissin calipers at the front, a Brembo caliper at the rear and 2 Brembo brake pumps on the handlebars, whose levers are closer to the handlebars than on the previous model. A biting combination that does not require a lot of hand power as before, but allows the deceleration to be properly dosed with 2 fingers. This update is particularly pleasing in the stop and go of Roman traffic. Fortunately, no one had to test the ABS here at the test ride, but we note its unobtrusive presence as a plus. Another plus point, the more comfortable seating position. The handlebars are now 1.4 centimeters wider, and the new seat is narrow at the front. It makes it possible to find a secure stance even with a body height of 1.69 meters. Once on the road, you simply slide back and enjoy the comfort of the wide, well-padded seat, even for several hours at a time. With a pillion passenger, however, it's better not to stay too long, as the pillion footrests, they are very well integrated into the fairing, can only be reached by turning the passenger's feet in. Vespa connoisseurs notice that something is new when they look at the switch unit of the 2023 GTS 125 and GTS 300 models. Or at the ignition key, thanks to keyless go, the slim machine can now always stay in your trouser or jacket pocket. Furthermore, the LCD display below the analog instruments has been enlarged somewhat, and the GTS Super Tech variant even has a 4.3 inches TFT dashboard with navigation function. While GTS Super Sport and Super Tech have connectivity on board as standard, GTS and GTS Super only offer preparation for it. The smartphone can then be connected to the scooter via the Mia app, which always works perfectly. As a treat, the GTS 125 also has an automatic start-stop system as standard, which did not cause any problems during the test ride, despite the already low consumption of approximately 2.4 liters per 100 kilometers, certainly saved a few more cents. Not new, but still practical, the GTS models have a USB socket in the glove compartment that fits any smartphone nicely. Also not new, but impractical, there is still no room for a full-face helmet under the seat, and even most jet helmets are too big. A small consolation, original Vespa helmets fit in, and for all others there's a top case in the accessories. So what's our verdict? The Vespa GTS family has been given a facelift and a technical overhaul. The new chassis and the new brakes were convincing all along the line in the first test. The GTS still offers the incomparable Vespa style, but now mixes it with even more riding fun and comfort.